Hi, hello, welcome to Quality Thought YouTube channel.
See, today I want to show you how to install SQL Server on your systems. But the most important point you need to remember, all of you, latest, don't try to install the latest version. Okay, no need of that. If you are really working with any advanced features related to the application development, then only try to install the latest versions. Otherwise, just install either 2014 or 16, that is enough. See, for every server database, generally the RDBMS are again divided into two types: file databases and server databases. Even though a RDBMS package stores the data in the form of tables, I mean the rows and columns, but again they are divided into two types: file databases and server databases. Suppose you are all aware about Excel. Excel is also in RDBMS. Remember that it is not a normal package. Don't think that it. See, behind Excel there are so many. So many functionalities are there. Just by learning Excel also, you can get a very good job. So many functionalities are there. So Excel is also one RDBMS, no doubt. Okay, those people who are with the application knowledge, okay, they may know. You can connect with Excel. Okay. Next, how to identify the server database and file database. A file database is without user ID and password. Remember that. To connect with a file database, it never asks any user ID and password. There is no client for file database. But server databases, no doubt, we need a user ID and password. And we need a client software also to connect with server databases. So Oracle is a server database. MySQL is a server database. And this SQL Server is also a file database. So when you are installing any server database, you need to install both server database engine and the client also. So many people fails in this area actually. They install server, but without client software, it is not possible to connect with that server. That is an important point. In the real time, what happens for the entire team, for the entire development team, one server is hosted. Not only for one team, for all the teams also. Sometimes only one server is hosted. Okay, and that server is made accessible to all the teams who are developing their projects. Suppose there are 4 teams are there, just assume, or at least 2 teams are there. One team is working on hospital project and one team is working on, say for example, one school project. For both the teams, only one database. Remember that, only one server. There is no multiple servers. Only one server is enough. But how the teams shares that database, that server database? By using user IDs and passwords. Separate users are created. For hospital project team, one user ID and password is created, and for school project team, one user ID and password is created, and the path is shared. The path is given to the teams. Okay. In the real time, how you connect with a website, in the same way you can connect to your server also. Okay. If my credential supports, I will show you that one also. Suppose your server is running in US, just assume SQL Server. Okay, assume that not only website, not only web server. Suppose you purchased one server on temporary base, just assume, or for your project. Okay, and your team is working in different locations in India and abroad, and your server is in somewhere. By using your client software, you can connect to that server. Okay, just like how you visited, how you raised a request towards a website. See, to visit a website, generally you use URL, right? http://www.some.abc.com, something else. In the same way, for server also, a URL is provided to you in the real time, right? So that URL the URL implicitly represents the IP address of the server where it is running. Okay, it may be in India or it may be in abroad in somewhere. So in such a way, the real-time server access is given and a user ID and password is shared to you. So in that server, your database of your project is allowed to access, but the server contains so many other databases also. Okay, so many other users also. Remember that. Okay. Now today, I want to show you how to install SQL Server and how to install the client software and how to connect with that software by using this. So here, you on your system, you are installing both server and client, both, because we want to work with it, right? Suppose if you have a network, local network, suppose your laptop is connected with your friend laptop. On your friend laptop, you can install server. On your system, you can install client. No problem. You can access. Right? Simple. It's not that much complex. Once upon a time, it is too complex. But right now, we can configure very easily. Right? Now, see, I don't take too much. Just I will close by 2:15. Don't worry. Okay. అలాగే అంటారు మళ్ళీ ఎక్కువ టైం తీసుకుంటారంటారా? No. See, generally, the SQL Server made their softwares free under the name of Community Edition. Okay, so see, don't download this Management Studio alone. It is just client software. Okay, so say for example, if you click this SQL Server download, if these servers are really required for you, then go through these versions. Okay, 2022. For SQL purpose, really these servers are not required. Remember that. See this SQL Server 2014 download. Click on this Express. Right here, you can click download. Okay, once you click on download, it shows different softwares here. Okay, so among these softwares, you need to select two: one server and client. And which is server and which is client? See this Express 64-bit SQL Express 64 ENU. Okay, select this one because you are all with the latest laptops. So no doubt they are all with the 64-bit. Okay. Now where is the client? Go down. Here see this Management Studio at the bottom. Okay. See this SQL Server Management Studio. Select the 64-bit version and click next. See, this SQL Server generally it is installed in two modes. One is to connect with SQL Server, user ID and password is required. Okay, and to connect with SQL Server, no need of user ID and password. Two modes: Windows authentication and SQL authentication. But you need to install in mixed mode. Remember that, because suppose if you are an application developer, okay, SQL authentication is important. Without user ID and password, generally it is not secure. So that's why to work with both two types of connections, better to install in mixed mode. Okay, I will show you. Right. Next. So first confirm these all softwares are downloaded or not. See here it is Management Studio, it is SQL Express. Now click on this SQL Express. Next, for every server, generally it requires a name. Every server, generally it requires a name. Remember that. In the companies in the real time, what happens? These servers are maintained or they are hired. Suppose if they are maintaining their own server, they will give their own name. Okay, it is called instance name, instance. You can create multiple instances for a single server from a single software. Okay. By default, what happens? If you do not provide any name, your system name is taken as the server name by default. See here, two options are available. One is if your system is with any SQL server, it is upgraded. But the first option is a new SQL server standalone installation. Standalone. Okay, that is enough for us. Click on that. Just click the check boxes. Click the next. Right. Here also click this checkbox. No updates. Okay. See in this. Last day I told you database engine. Right. Database engine, which performs the operations according to our instructions. Right. So the database engine, this is this one. So database engine is not directly accessible to you. Through client only, you can connect with the database engine. So you are giving the instructions to the SQL server, or you are giving the instructions to the Oracle. Okay. They contains internally a core program called database engine, which performs the operations. Right. So database engine is nothing but just like assume that it is an execution engine. Okay. Or it is a heart. Okay. Which performs the database operations as per your requirement. So you are installing here only the database engine. Okay. But if you full install an SQL server, it comes up with 3 more additional modules also, which are really not required for you. They are required for different management, SQL server managements, and those who works with like see the .NET. Okay, for all they are required. Now just click the next. Right. See this here. This is the name. Default instance or named instance. See, it is a named instance. Named instance means you can provide your own name. Say, for example, you are suppose one company maintaining the database. Just assume. Okay, the company name. Because the company provides database services to others. So then that company name concatenated with say DB something. Okay, suppose Quality Thought providing the database services to others applications. Just assume Quality Thought DB. In such a way, you can give the name. Okay. Otherwise, suppose if I selected default instance, then the default name is taken automatically. So anything is okay. Okay, named instance or default instance, anything is okay. Just click the next button. See this, it is installing 2 things. SQL Server database engine, and it is started automatically whenever your OS is started. See here, if you see the account name here, under this one word is there, NT service. You are installing SQL Server as a service. Okay, how you are installing, how it works on your system. It works as a service. Okay, it is called Windows service. Windows service means a service is a program which runs in the background and which starts automatically along with your OS and which stops whenever your OS is stopped. Okay, it is generally non-interactive program. Remember that. Non-interactive program. Suppose antivirus is there. Antivirus is also a service oriented, right? Whenever your OS is started, it starts automatically. It means these services, okay, if you anyone have application development knowledge, there is one area called Windows services. How to develop Windows services? Means you develop a program, okay. Generally, that program is executed whenever you select it, right? Without selecting an option called execution, okay, it is not possible to execute it. But you want to make that program to be executable, okay, along with OS. Means OS, it should integrate with OS. It should integrate with OS. Remember that. Okay. So that is the meaning of service here. Okay, service. Now click the next. Right. See the name it has taken, desktop-jp ATTAE. This is the name of this laptop. So when I have not given the name, it has taken the existing system name as their name, right? And see here there are installations, Windows authentication mode. Windows authentication mode means no need to give user ID and password, but that is not recommended. Remember that. So select mixed mode. So whenever the mixed mode is there, it is asking about password. Then what is the user ID? So a default user ID is there, that is called SA. SA, S-A. Okay, the default username is SA. Okay, for example, see, if you work with Oracle, there is one user from the olden days onwards, from the last around 20 years, decades and decades it is coming. The same user ID and password. What is that? Tell me. Anyone work with Oracle? Scott and Tiger. Scott and Tiger. Okay, from the last 25 almost years and years, we are using the same system manager, Scott and Tiger. Right? If you work with Oracle, sorry, Oracle, not say MySQL. What is the default user ID and password? MySQL, root generally. Okay. You can change the password, but the username is fixed, root. So here the administrator is SA. So the password is right. Now provide the password here. Click next. See, once you connected by using this user ID and password, you can create users for others. But the default user is this one. Suppose if you forgot this password, then what? Because this is the only one user, right? You install in mixed mode, right? So that without user ID and password, you can connect. And in the management studio, we have some options. Okay, you can select the user and you can change the password there. Right, see all are succeeded, and it shows the options are, see the names. Database engine services, this is very important for us. Database engine services, this is the key. So all are successfully installed. See at the bottom here, SQL client connectivity, not client software. Okay, client connectivity and client connectivity SDK. Now click the close. Right. Now you need to install client software. Before entering into that, see services. I told you about the Windows services, right? It is called services.msc, or you can type directly services here. Now these are the programs which are running as services in your system. If these services are more, your system gets slow. Remember that. Okay, because these are all runs in the background. You feel that just you started only the OS, but along with OS, these are all automatically loads. And see the status running. See this, all of you. It means this many number of programs are running in the backend. Now in this, our SQL server is there or not? We need to check. So in the alphabetical order, see this here. In the alphabetical order, let us see. SQL Server. Okay. SQL Server. MS SQL Server. See the properties here. Right click on this. Start, stop. Start is disabled. Why? Because it is already started. Our installation is successfully completed. So it is installed and it is started. Means server is running on your system, but you are unable to connect with that server because you install server component only. You need to install client component, and that client component should identify this one. This is very important. See, when these two are on the same system, it is okay. It automatically identifies. But when the server is running on a remote system, okay, and you install the client software on your system, this client copy should identify that one. Then how? Path of that server should be given here. Path. Okay. That path is given in the real time to you through your documentation, or when you purchase directly the services from the host provider. Now here, see, you can stop your service if you don't want. Okay. See, pause, resume, and properties. And see what is the mode of this one. See, automatic. Automatic means it automatically starts, right? So now let us close this. So our server is running. It is clear. Now let us see. See MAN. Just I typed MAN. See here, SQL Server 2014 configuration manager is came, but there is no management studio. Remember that. It means the software which you installed is only server. Again, it is a confirmation. Okay, if you type MAN, it should show management studio, but it's not showing anything. See this here. So now, see, we downloaded the management studio. Now click on it. Even on low configured systems also it works. Okay. We don't need full installation. Click yes. See, this management studio is not binded to our local server. By using this management studio, you can connect to any server. Right? Client means if the required details are provided to it, it connects to any server, to local server or remote server, to any server or any number of servers also. Remember that. See here, add features to existing instance. We want to add management studio, right? See here, all of you. See the management tools. See this. Management tools complete succeeded. So close. Right. Now here, just type. Now see, the SQL Server Management Studio is available right now. Right? Now click on this. Now, see these points are useful for application developers also. How many application developers are here? I don't know. Whether it may be Python or Java or .NET or any language. If you are connecting, if you want to use a particular data service, okay, either for a manual user or either for an application, you need to provide the details. What are they? Where your server is running, okay, and the protocol it is following. Third one, the user ID. The fourth one, password. And fifth one, if required, you need to provide the port number also. Remember that. Port number. These 5 details, more or less, I mean either fully or partially, depending upon your language, you need to provide. Okay. Generally, it is called as connection string in your applications. Okay. So now the same information here also you need to provide. The management studio is a client software, wants to connect with a database engine. Where is the database engine? You need to provide here. Okay. So here, see this, the server type. See, there are so many services are there. Database engine, analysis services, reporting services, integration services. Among these 4 services, we want to use database engine services only. So I want to connect with the database engine service and where it is running, the server name. Okay. So here it identified the server name. This server name is equal to your system name by default. See here. See, desktop -J9 AATAE. This is system name, this device name. The same name as a server name. Why it is happened? Sometimes it is different. Suppose if the for SQL Server at the time of installation, I have shown one radio button, named instance. Remember, if the named instance is selected, then there you need to give your own name. Then what happens? Then also it comes. Remember that. Suppose for server name, I have provided, say, for example, MyDB. Okay, MyDB. MyDB is a server name, but that server software is running on at which system? This desktop. So then the path comes system name / server name. That is the point. Remember that. But here the server name and the system name both are same. Okay. So that's why. Now, which type of authentication? SQL Server authentication. Now the username is SA and the password is right. If you want to remember this password forever, just select this. Connect. Disconnected. Right? Say 2:15 is over, 5 minutes more. After that, I will close. See here. See, because tomorrow we need to start queries. That's why. See here. This is called Object Explorer. This is the key for SQL Server. Remember that. Because whatever the components you create and whatever the things you create, all are accessible through Object Explorer only. Whatever the databases you created, whatever the tables you have created, whatever the functions and procedures, whatever you created, triggers, everything are accessible through this Object Explorer only. Suppose if this Explorer is closed, it is available from, see, this view menu, Object Explorer, F8. Now here, I told you, for each theme, separate databases are created without any collision, right? For hospital, one separate database. Server is same. How it happens? See here. So databases. See this left side node. It is a down tree. So system databases. You know it touch the system databases. Now, in my company, 2 teams are there. Now right click on this databases, new database, and here database name. Right. Now, for which team you want to create a database? Say for hospital management system. Okay. Don't click the add button. Remember that, all of you. Don't click the add button. Click the OK button. Remember that. And one more important, whenever the database name is given here, at the bottom here, see, database files. And with the given database name, it creating 2 files. One is HMS and another one is HMS_log. Why these 2 files? Okay. Once the database is created, it records all the transactions which are happened on the database. When the database is created, when a table is created, when the table is updated, everything, whatever the operations performed by the user on the database, all are recorded in this log file. Log file. Without log file, that database file is useless. Remember that. Always you need to keep these 2 files together. Okay. And
సార్ ముగించేయండి, టైం అయిపోయింది, ఆకలి అవుతుంది ఇక్కడ.
right. See, 2 minutes is closed. Now see here, hospital management system. Now see here, if the initial size of this file is just 3 MB only. 3 MB is really enough to maintain the hospital data? No. Okay. See here, auto growth. Auto growth means whenever the data is added, okay, it checks 3 MB is enough or more size is required. Suppose if the 3 MB is not enough, then it increases the size, it increases the memory for the database automatically. Automatically it happens. Up to which extent? See here, this is unlimited. Unlimited. See, you added, see, you are developing an hospital software for Apollo, just assume. It is an ERP. Thousands of patients are there, right? So when you added records, thousands and thousands of records, it requires GBs of memory. Automatically it increases. Whenever the given memory is occupied totally by the data, then immediately it allocates certain additional memory. In such a way it continues. There is no limitation on it. That option came from here. See this one. Auto growth by 1 MB and up to unlimited. And where is this file? See this. These files are created in this path. See here. Any HMS file is there? No, right? Because we are not yet clicked OK. Now click OK. See that HMS and HMS log, 2 files are created, right? Now, one important point. Whenever your work is completed, keep these 2 files, a copy of these 2 files separately. Okay, either in your separate drive or in the pen drive or somewhere. Okay, even though suppose you uninstall your SQL Server or something is happened, these 2 files, you can use these 2 files to get back your database on separate server. You can add these 2 files to any other SQL Server. Remember that. Okay. So always, once the work is completed, just take a copy of these 2 files. Okay. That is. Now, once the database is created, you can create the tables and you can create your programming components, stored procedures, functions, triggers, whatever you want. Okay. See this. Here there is no any tables. Now see. Right, if you right click on the table, click on table. Then it shows an interface using which you can create a table. So for every component in the Microsoft, mainly in the Microsoft components, for every type of functionality, 2 types of options are there. One is programming interface. Second one is a GUI interface. For everything, almost. Okay, that is. So that's all for today.
Before the end of the session, a request to all of you. ఈ వీడియోలోని కంటెంట్ మీద మీకు ఏ విధమైనటువంటి డౌట్స్ ఉన్నా కూడా కింద కామెంట్స్ రూపంలో మీరు ప్రొవైడ్ చేసినట్టయితే ఇమీడియట్గా మా టీం వాటికి రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. ఫర్దర్ కోర్సెస్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కోసం మీరు క్వాలిటీ థాట్ వెబ్సైట్ని విజిట్ చేయొచ్చు, లేదా డిస్క్రిప్షన్లో ప్రొవైడ్ చేయబడినటువంటి కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్స్కి మీరు కాల్ చేసినట్టయితే మీకు కంప్లీట్ డీటెయిల్స్ అనేటువంటివి ప్రొవైడ్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. ఫర్దర్ మీకు మరిన్ని క్వాలిటేటివ్ వీడియోస్ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేయడానికి ప్లీజ్ like this video and share this video and subscribe our channel Quality Thought. Thank you all of you.